Hey, welcome to the Coach's Box. Ray Halbrook here with Livestream STL, our special college night here at La Pachengas. Thanks for tuning in, and if you're on your way, come on out, and you can get 15% off your bill tonight, and a chance also if you get in on our chair over here. You're going to sit down in our chair and ask a question. A good question gets you a $25 gift card, so make sure you check that out as well. So come on out to La Pachanga. We're going to open up our microphones here for Mr. Miller. How are you, Coach?
I'm here, man.
Hey.
Oh,
you are
a
here,
little feedback
so there's a little
there.
feedback
It's because I'm loud and obnoxious.
That is so
okay.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
okay.
The loud part, right?
Obnoxious, I don't know.
I do like the black on you. It looks a lot better than that blue.
Yeah.
Well, I've had years of wearing a lot of black.
Yes, you have.
It's the last 7 years, and then a couple years before that, and then a couple more before that. So,
Well, they could probably say there's some similarities to that black and this black and yellow. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's true.
let's go.
I'm sporting my Mizzou shirt.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing college night with us, Coach.
I didn't have any shirts that fit. I've gained a little weight.
I didn't notice that. Nobody said anything.
I made sure I wore my
Yeah,
UK
we
blue here.
can all see.
I mean,
You look like
this-
the blue Kool-Aid man.
Well,
right
hey,
now.
that's the way it is.
I know.
Support your
and,
voice.
and Coach Gray down there.
I
He's sporting a SEMO shirt.
He's
Hey.
got the SEMO.
That's all you got.
Yeah,
Hey,
so yeah,
Sumo was all right a little bit this year, weren't they?
they're okay. I
They're
guess.
bad average.
They had
Bad average.
Did they have a team?
Yeah,
They had uniforms and everything.
Yeah.
It's great.
I will say their girls' coaching staff was really nice at that coaching clinic I went to. Gave me some good drills.
It's good stuff. Girls program there's been pretty good
Been
when
pretty
they
decent.
when they try not to cheat and things like that.
No.
No, that's UK.
Oh, that's what it was.
No, that's KU.
wait,
That's
wait,
KU.
wait.
You got
Well,
to use
Well,
the K
Indian.
instead.
Well, it's
Sorry.
same color blue
That's
almost.
true.
and
You just turn the letters
Calipari,
around and it all still works.
We do have some KU fans in here somewhere tonight. I know
They're hiding because nobody wants to acknowledge that.
I mean, John Maddox. Yeah, he's in
can't
here
call out
tonight.
people in the audience. Come on.
Sure,
man.
I can. Sure, I can.
It's like 1/7 your boss. You can't do that.
Oh well.
Anyway, enough of this nonsense. I think we got a pretty fun show. It's going to be probably a lot of free-for-all, I would have to say, for the most part, when we're talking about college sports and college basketball in particular. And we just thought it'd be a fun time just to really kind of dive into it and get a little banter going about probably our favorite teams. We'll probably mostly be picking on Riley and his obsession with Kentucky.
Perfect.
But that's okay.
Bring it.
And then later on in the show, hopefully we'll get you guys' questions, and you'll get a chance to sit in this nice little captain's seat over here. I don't know if Ray will show it, but you get a chance to sit here and ask us questions, and we're going to answer them on the spot instead of screening your questions. Basically on the
Dan Boyer.
yeah,
You
Dan
see
Boyer
that?
jumping in.
Yeah, see, so Dan, come on in and make yourself
Yeah.
known here in front of everybody.
Yeah,
That,
Dan, why don't you come in and ask that same question? That way you know if it's on tonight or tomorrow.
you got
I
it.
love it. Anyway, we're going to do that, and then later on in the show, we're also going to do trivia. I think Ray and Jeff Whitener's come up with some trivia questions, and we're going to play for this obnoxious-looking trophy.
Beautiful. I'm gonna take a drink out of that thing.
Take a drink out of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
You feel
Stanley
that?
Cup there.
I mean, that's
That-
beautiful.
That's got some weight to it.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you can knock somebody
I
out.
don't need
this
to
is
touch
you
it.
for this is
I'm
the
not
winner.
going to win,
It's
so
not-
I'll just get rid of that thing.
I mean,
I'm not a trivia
it's not
guy.
Like it's not like the trophy before the Stanley Cup that the conference winners,
You
you
don't
can
touch
touch
it?
that one.
Is it multiple choice?
I don't know. Ray, do we have
We
lifelines?
have multiple choice.
I mean,
Yeah, we
Oh,
get
we get
multiple choice.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's all this 1 in a million talk.
1 out of 4 chance here.
But and then if you guys have a great name for the trophy, we all can't come up with anything. We're not creative.
Yeah.
Please vote. Have comments. Except you, Dan. You don't get any kind of choice of what the name for the trophy is going to be. So everybody else, you have free reign to message on there. Come up with the obnoxious name and be funny. Please be appropriate because this is a family-ish show. And that way we can kind of have some fun with it. This trophy is going to be passed along every week to the winner. So if you win, you carry it the entire week,
Love it.
and it's a traveling trophy. So that's
we
how
go.
we're going to do
There
it.
we go.
Nope, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to take anything home.
I mean, you don't have to sandbag so much, okay? It's like a plethora of knowledge
What's our
inside that
motto?
jug head of yours.
What's our motto? Aim low.
So yeah,
Got a lot in that noodle over here,
that's
too.
true. Coach Noodles.
Coach, that's right, baby. Look at this. I mean, I brought it in tonight.
props.
Look at this.
Look at him.
See, I told you that. Noodles is in the house.
Yeah.
And this just explains Blair perfectly well. Illinois license plate, but he's a Kentucky fan. Makes no
How
sense.
does that work?
How does that work?
That's because I'm a blue all the way through, my friend.
Oh man,
Blue
what
all
happened?
the way through. Huh?
Who infected you with
He
this?
said he's blue all the way through.
It is.
know.
I am.
And
But
yeah, your skull colors are red. So I'm
it
sort of-
is.
I know,
But
red
I
and
still
black.
bleed blue. I still bleed blue. I
So
blue all for
all
the
right,
rest of my life.
so how did you become a Kentucky fan? I think inquiring minds, like all two people, want to know.
Well, all two. That's a good idea. Yes, yes. Well, my grandmother was a avid Kentucky fan, and most people that knew me growing up knew that my grandmother was a big impact in my life. And
So now he's going to make it hard for us to make
Yeah,
fun
exactly.
of him.
Exactly.
He's going to have this sentimental story, and now I'm not going to be able to make fun of you.
Your grandmother
yes, my grandmother.
was a Kentucky fan.
A huge Kentucky fan. Now, I'll tell you, growing up, Kentucky basketball in Southern Illinois wasn't on a regular tape timing at 7 o'clock at night. It was on tape delayed on Channel 6 News after the news on 10
So
o'clock.
after they talked about the Salukis, which would be a team in your state
Yeah, well,
that you should root for
I
other
am.
than Kentucky.
I was
mean,
a big fan of the Salukis. Coach Rich
Oh,
Heron was
oh.
a big fan of mine as well. Still
was a
does.
fan of
He's-
him.
Yes. He spoke at our banquet a couple years back. Most of my kids will remember that name. But there would be many nights that at 10:30 at night when the Kentucky basketball game would come on, and we would basically watch that basketball game from about 10:30 at night till midnight every time the Kentucky was on. So it was a pretty neat experience for me. So I kind of fell in love with the blue, and I'm still today big fans. If you come to my house, I'm decked in my basement is in Kentucky blue or St. Louis Cardinals. So it's a big thing for me. So there you go.
Man.
Most of you guys have been into my basement. I don't think this guy hasn't, and that guy hasn't.
Big
But
Bay's
I
not
don't
invited
think
you.
I've been in his basement.
You ain't been in his basement?
Oh.
My bathroom's Mizzou.
we know this.
Yeah.
I
When
live
we did the
in-
first show, I was like, man, this is awesome. In Mizzou bathroom. And then it's like Blair's. It's like, yeah, it's Kentucky. Yeah, we'll do
That's
that.
why I've never went down there. Mel Kern, you know I don't like Kansas.
Hey,
Quit that.
It is the right blue, though, right, John Maddox? This is the right blue. Is that right?
Again, calling people out. You gotta stop doing that.
I can do that. I can do that around here.
But I mean, rock chalk. Wait, yeah, look at this. Already got people jumping in on this.
I know.
Seriously, how can anybody be a Kansas fan right now? I got to get on this. Let's just start on it. How can anybody be a Kansas fan right now? If that isn't the biggest, most obvious cheating program in the country in any college sports.
Let me just slap your hand and tell you bad boy and move on.
If it shouldn't be SMU Part 2, death penalty, I don't know what it should. It's blatant. It's right there. Are you cheating? Yes. Okay.
But how bad?
Don't do that again.
I know, and Mizzou self-reports.
It's like, yeah,
Self-reports
this is what
and
we
gets
did.
worse off than KU.
this is what we did. We're really sorry. Here's all the steps we did. Okay, you guys, you're not going to the postseason. You can't do anything. And all. Are you
Take
kidding
away some
me?
scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do all this stuff. And it's like, Kansas, don't do it again.
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to do it again? No. Maybe. Okay, maybe's fine. We'll take maybe. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe Calipari was at Kansas
that's
instead
true.
of UK. I didn't know.
He got that out of his system at Memphis.
That's
is what I
right.
heard.
Oh, it's Memphis where
Yeah,
he did all
the kid
that.
who looked like Derrick
That
Rose
was
took
done-
the SAT for him.
Once again, that was the wrong color of blue. Yes.
What-
Yeah.
I mean, so he cleaned up his cheating ways and got smarter about it.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Kentucky.
Okay, yeah. Well, you don't really want me to say what I really want to say, right?
You can say whatever you want. It's a Geneva Convention.
That's why we're here.
It's a family show.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, as long as it's not, over the top.
It says
profane.
call it like you see it. I
Yeah.
mean, let's.
I may call it like I see it before the end of the night. We'll see how it goes.
Do yourself a favor and just bleep it yourself. So that way you can see
You have an
yourself.
air horn, one of those air
we
horns.
should. Great. What about you, McVay? What's your
Duke, let's go Duke.
speaking
Yes.
of cheating?
Coach K.
Yeah, he's
What
in trouble right now.
There's some rumors about that.
He's
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit in
Let's-
trouble.
Let's find out if Zion has to testify or something in front of a
Well, you could do what Mark
Court.
McGuire did and just say, I don't want to talk about the past.
I mean, it worked out great for him, didn't it?
It sure did. He's the only one. He must have paid attention to his government teacher and understood what his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination was.
Oh, wow, look at you, man.
Like I teach it, you know.
Man, that's-
Just like he
that's a
teaches
good social
it.
studies teacher.
I
over
know.
there.
I teach pleading the fifth too.
I figured he was going to say something like
I might have said I plead the fifth before. I don't know.
That's too funny. There's so many jokes I just had. I just can't.
Call it like you see it, Coach Miller. Call it like you see it.
I don't have a bleep button. I might do it after the fact. And then
Right.
That's it. So
That's too late. But hey, you can say what you want.
I guess. Yeah, it's in the Geneva Convention. We already talked about
Right.
that.
All right,
So
Coach Miller. What are we? Is
Okay.
it the Mizzou? Is it the?
That is your big. That's your big fan right now, Bazoo?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Mizzou, even when I was growing up, and I went to SEMO, and yeah, I went to SEMO. Let's just leave it at that. But
Were they the Indians then, or were
okay,
they the
so
Warhawks?
the funny part is when I went to SEMO, it was when they dropped the Indians. They didn't have a mascot, and they were trying to vote on which mascot they wanted to use. So for 2 years, one of those years, we didn't have a mascot. So even when they played football, all the helmets just said SC Missouri State. There was no mascot. They had no idea what they were going to be called. And so we go to a football game, it's like, yeah, go
us.
Can't say Indians. Can't.
SEMO.
Go SEMO. Yeah, it's on the cheers. It's kind of like, yeah, we can't do that. So when they became the Red Hawks, it's like, why are we the Red Hawks? Well, because it was the best of the list. Because the students put out the list of.
The students are the ones
students
that-
did,
Wow.
and then they all voted on it. And they listen, man, it's SEMO, and if you ever been there and went to college there, got to experience the college experience, SEMO. Some of the wisest decisions were never made at that place during that time. So
It must be why my brother Dave went there.
a lot of teachers go to SEMO. Just throwing it out there for all of our.
My mother graduated from there too. So
We'll be waiting for
and
Dave
she's a
Jarvis
saint.
to comment on that.
Jump on in. But no, I've been a Mizzou fan. I root for them. I'm just used to disappointment pretty much on a yearly basis. It's like, yeah, we're really good this year. Yeah, that's it. All right, thanks. Chase Daniel had a great time when he was a quarterback. And
That was fun. That was some good years.
Those were some fun
those
years.
were good years. And then
Brad Smith, that was some
I
fun
like Brad
years,
Smith.
yeah.
And then, like I said, it's kind of like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, we got a team. It's cool. Uniforms and everything. So you're a Mizzou fan too, though.
Oh, I'm big. Yeah, I love Mizzou. Me and my son Dylan love to go to Mizzou games, and it's tough being a Mizzou fan.
It is.
But when they did beat Kentucky one time, I think I gave you a bunch.
Yeah,
of
well, I might have been at
try.
that basketball
Yes.
game in Columbia.
And you probably got a few texts.
I did.
Yes,
did. And I remember it very well. My wife got those tickets for me as a birthday gift.
Happy birthday.
I was so happy when they lost.
And,
It was so awesome.
we spent a whole weekend in Columbia. Well, after that game was over, all I packed was Kentucky Blue stuff. So
Oh, that's awesome.
my wife's like, let's go to Kohl's and buy another shirt because we don't want to walk around Columbia all night long wearing this Go Big Blue shirt.
Yeah, that's really a bad decision if you would do that.
Yes, and it was a smart decision on our part to go to Kohl's and buy us a shirt, and then we were spending the evening walking around Columbia. But they took it to us that year. Now that year that Kentucky ended up going to the Elite Eight and missing the Final Four by a buzzer beater that year. So,
I always like to hear that, missing the Final Four.
I mean,
Wait, I hear that all the
Yeah,
time.
we hear that all the
Mizzou
time.
fan.
let's say they're the second most winning national championships in the country behind UCLA
Cheaters.
with 8.
Cheaters.
UCLA has 11, but so I mean they're second in line. I don't see anywhere where Mizzou's in that line anywhere. So
Maybe not in
Duke's
basketball.
a couple down behind there. So that's what we're talking about, college basketball.
I
Come
mean,
on
it
now.
was just.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'd rather root for Duke. But, I mean,
I would root for Duke before I'd root for Kentucky.
Now, don't get me wrong.
I would
like
root for
Coach,
North Carolina before I'd root for either one of those two.
I don't know about that now. Come on now.
Yeah,
I like
we're
Coach
talking about
K.
obvious cheating there. Let's go to that.
I like Coach K. I do really like Coach K. And I got the privilege last year to be able to watch Duke Kentucky play in Indianapolis.
who won that?
Who won that? Duke by about 50. It was the most incredible game I've ever seen, witnessed in live in person. I mean, that Zion was just amazing.
I enjoyed that game too.
Well, I may have had a few to enjoy on the way home. I had to go with my good buddy Brian Waits, who is a fantastic, huge
Duke fan.
Him and I are good friends, and we had to drive all the way to there. We were giving each other crap all the way there and back, and then
it was one-sided all the way back.
On the way back, it was a little
It
one-sided.
was quiet, right? It was
on
just
the
quiet.
way back, I was dead to sleep. I didn't want to hear anything he had to say. But
I can see how this is. He just leaned up against the window, and he looks over and he says, if you rip on me 13 or 14 more times, we are not friends.
He only stopped at 12. He stopped at 12.
I was going to say, we wouldn't be friends a long time ago.
No, I mean, being a Mizzou fan, you're just used to disappointment consistently every single year. I thought maybe we got in the SEC, because the SEC is not normally, outside of Kentucky, it's been a very big basketball conference.
Agreed.
And all of a sudden, everybody starts getting better at basketball when Mizzou gets in. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I thought we had a little bit of a chance. Nah, it's on. It's gone. I mean, I'm still going to root for them because this is the state I'm from and I live in. I'd like to see Missouri State do well. SEMO, because I went there, even though they keep asking me for money, which I already paid you enough. Leave me alone. But
St. Louis U. I mean,
Hey,
SLU, I know
SLU ball games are fun.
Well, you know why
that's
he's
good.
saying that? Because Travis Ford is there.
yeah, Travis
I
Ford,
mean,
Kentucky guy.
But he did play at Mizzou.
Yeah.
Well, then he
Yeah.
stupid and went to the Blue.
Well,
But
he's smart. The smartest decision he ever made.
Last year I got the opportunity to go and watch a SLU game with Dan Boyer, matter of fact, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had never been to a SLU game. I'd been in the Chaffetz Arena and watched high school basketball a little bit there. But I'll tell you what, it was a great experience. They've got a great fan base, and I think they're building something there.
It's nice.
And I like what they're doing. I hate saying it's even a lot more than what Mizzou's doing. And I really like where they're heading. So I
Well,
think
you're
they're
getting some Missouri kids.
That's
I think
what I was
that's-
saying.
and we can talk about that.
you got Goodwin, you got Yuri Collins, you got some guys that are from the state, which is good to see. I don't know, if Kentucky, I'm sure they have some Kentucky guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do?
who? The manager?
No.
The water boy?
They got the player of the year in Kentucky, Mr. Basketball.
Who's he?
This next year, they didn't get Mr. Basketball in Kentucky.
Oh,
They
he
didn't
didn't get him.
deal with this.
They didn't have a Mr. Basketball in
Well,
Kentucky. I don't think.
I
Too
won't-
soon. Too soon. You can't say that.
Exactly right. So, but I mean, you look at the recruiting, and that's one thing that I was going to mention. You brought up is Mizzou and SLU does a really good job of recruiting locally within the state or within the surrounding state. Illinois or Missouri or whatever. So I think that's important though to see that the quality of basketball in our state or around us is.
Well, yeah,
you know?
Mizzou's got Watson from Whitfield, who we've seen play live.
Right. Multiple
Unfortunately, I've seen him play, not against me at least, but we got to see him play live, and it's good to see Mizzou and SLU trying to close the borders down in Missouri and get those guys to come to SLU or to Mizzou.
Well, if you think about it, there's been a lot of really good talent that we've had in Missouri that we've let get out, and I know from like the eastern side for the most part. But at one point we've had both Hansborough boys who are good. We had we have Jason Tatum, we have Bradley Beal, we have Otto Porter Jr. All these guys have went and played at the NBA.
Yeah.
Miles way back when from St. Louis.
And where do they go to school?
Hughes.
They don't.
Larry
but
Hughes did
Hughes
go
is
to
a SLU
SLU,
guy.
though.
So, but we have let the borders go for so long, and it's good to see Coach Ford, do not Justin, sorry, but Travis Ford do a good job of keeping those players here, because that's what's going to get people involved and behind those programs. And I've said the same thing for years, being a Southeast Missouri guy, about SEMO. SEMO has just let all these kids go who are really talented players that could play at that level. They've just let them go to other places and not taken an opportunity to get those kids or to use the JUCOs in the area to get those kids.
So, well, and it's funny that you bring that up. That's, I think, one of the big problems. Everyone wants Jeffco to get a boys team. And I think one of the big problems of why the boys team left was because they were not recruiting kids from this county or from even around this area. They were bringing people in from different countries, from different, places, instead of recruiting kids around here. And Even the girls program, I don't know that they recruit a whole lot of people from this county.
A handful, and I think MAC, they do an excellent job of
Yeah,
trying to get
MAC
some of
does.
on the girls' side. I mean,
Yeah.
but the MAAA, I mean, there's a lot of talent. There's been a lot of talent in the last several years. But yeah, there's a lot of local players that stay local for a couple of years and then move on to maybe a Division I or another Division II school. But yeah, I mean that's one thing. You look back when Jeffco, I guess this is probably going on 10 years now, when the girls program, when the women's program went to the national championship, they had Danielle Adams wound up playing in the WNBA. She was a Kansas City product, but for the most part, you do look at some rosters, some JUCO rosters, and you say, oh, Argentina, Australia, Italy, Spain. Yeah.
I mean, you got to fill your team with kids, right? And you have to get them wherever you can to get that talent to be able to compete. But at the end of the day, somebody is going to want to see somebody they've seen before play.
Yes.
And it's more fun when you can say, I saw that kid play in high school. Look where he is now, or look where she is now, compared to somebody I have no idea who this kid is.
I cheer for Watson every time I watch Mizzou. I'm like, every time he gets in, I'm like, all right, come on, do something.
So what's the answer? How do you solve that equation if you are Mizzou or if you are SLU? And how do you lock down these prospects? Now you got to understand Hansborough and Tatum. These are all lottery picks. These are all NBA stars, and Beal obviously look at his contract that he's going to get. I mean, how do you say come here instead of going to the Kentuckys, going to the Dukes, going to
That's hard to
those
compete
Blue Bloods?
against.
Well, I know Otto Porter Jr. and his
Mm-hmm.
family, and Mizzou could have just as easily have gotten him, and they just didn't. They didn't do the little things. But then here comes John Thompson, and he's, basically walks in and says, "This is what I'm going to do," and he appeals to the family and everything. And a matter of fact, it was told to these coaches recruiting him, "This is all you have to do is you have to win over Dad." And he's a family guy. Otto Porter never played any AAU. He just played high school basketball, and that was it. And he was the number 3 pick in the NBA draft and Big East Player of the Year, and his contract's pretty nice. And he's going to be set for life. But we let that kid go. He could have been in the state. He could have played for SLU. He could have played for Mizzou. He could have played for anybody here.
Right.
But he
And I think Conzo Martin's trying to keep Missouri players
Mm-hmm.
here, and I think Travis Ford's done a good job. He's got several Missouri or St. Louis area players on his team.
Agreed.
I mean, so I'm hoping they're going to steer more that way.
I think it's going to be really interesting when they start, if even these, like Mizzou and these local schools will start playing more. I don't know if Mizzou and SLU are going to play each other this year. Are they not? There was a little bit of rumbling.
They talk about it, but I don't think they were
Isn't it
they were going to
Illinois?
talk to Missouri State, and then that fell through. I think Conzo just wanted to put it on the schedule, and then something happened, and there was some turmoil or some confusion and frustration. And he pulled the plug and said, "We're not going to do it. We're not going to play Missouri State this year." So I did read that up like a couple weeks ago.
But I will have to say this: I would rather watch, instead of a border war game between Illinois and Missouri, I would rather watch Missouri play SLU.
No, yeah.
I mean,
I
me
like to
personally.
watch both,
But I mean, 'cause I hate Illinois,
and then I want to play.
That's all there is to
I want
it.
to play Kansas.
I want to
come
play
on,
Kansas.
let's get the KU-MU
Yeah.
rivalry
Back
back
again.
in.
Yeah, the biggest cheaters against the people who were self-reported. And on that note, I think we should take a break, Ray, because it's about that time. Before
It is
I dive
about
in
that
here
time.
and start talking about the death penalty.
I was waiting for Bleeding Kansas. I was waiting for us to stop talking about
Bleeding
that.
It's awful.
We'll be right back.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636 866-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
This live stream STL has been a huge asset for Jefferson County sports, in my opinion. I mean, getting these athletes the camaraderie that they're out there and people can see them. I mean, to be honest with you, I got a call from a coach yesterday about one of my athletes that said that they saw some of her games on live stream STL.
Awesome.
So, I mean, that right there instilled to me that this is important. This is important for those kids. And so, I think it's great, and I wish you guys the best. And if you're out there and you want to sponsor, this is a great opportunity for kids to support kids of our local kids and get them support and get them acknowledgement out there, because we have a lot of great athletes in this county.
We appreciate that. And at the end of the day, our mission is much the same as your missions, coaches, to help shine a light on these kids. And get them exposure and get their name out there and help them. And if they can advance, they're better off, we're better off as a community, and that's why we're here.
I wonder what Coach Jarvis is up to.
Jason! What's up? What's up? Ah! Oh, hang on a minute. I got a call from Blair. What's up?
What am I doing? I'm sitting here watching the Coach's Box.
This must be a wrong number.
Where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? There's the game. Livestream STL, now available on Roku.
We are back here at the Coach's Box, live from La Pichinga. Come on out here. You get yourself 15% off tonight by mentioning Livestream STL, and also a chance if you step up to our table here, up to our chair. We've got a microphone for you to ask a good question for a chance to win $25 gift certificate right here to La Pichinga. Before we get started for our next segment here, we're going to let you know all the places that we're out here in the Facebook waves, the Twitter waves, YouTube, Roku channel, Twitch, Periscope. We are everywhere. And the Roku channel, we'll talk a little bit about that. You want the Roku channel, you got to log on to videos.tkdssports.com. $4.99 a month. Pretty cheap. So check that out as well. We'll let you guys know about something that we're also running. You want 15% off and you can't make it out tonight? Come on out Tuesday night. We have a Jeffco Diamondcast baseball watch party. That's going to be Tuesday right back here at La Pichinga's in Herky. Brought to you by Livestream STL. 5:30 and 7:30 are the baseball games between Festus and Charleston. Myself, your own Riley Blair, I believe, and Stuart McMillan, we will all be out there calling the games together. I'll be doing the producing, but I think we're going to flip-flop. Stuart's going to do a game, and Riley's going to do a game, so we'll be live from Charleston, Missouri, 5:30 and 7:30. We're going to have that Roku channel fired up here at La Pichinga's. We thank the folks here at La Pichinga so much. Joel is awesome. So come out here again. That's 5:30 and 7:30. We'll have the Roku channel up for Jeffco Diamondcast Baseball. You'll see us at our Diamondcast Home Dome, brought to you by Home at SMCI. And if you're interested in broadcasting either our shows here or games, you got to get a hold of us here. Sponsor with us by calling us at 314-852-46 4398. Or you can get a hold of us on the email through livestreamstloutlook.com. I wanted to mention one last sponsor here real quick. Friends over at USA Mortgage, the home of possibility, Mr. Justin Neal, great guy over there, branch manager at USA Mortgage, 115 West Gannon in Festus. Give him a call at 314-287-4572 or festus.usa-mortgage.com. I believe I've gotten through everything. So we're going to go open up things right now. We're going to go into our second segment. And Mr. Miller, what do we got on tap here, my friend?
Well, hopefully we get some questions in right now. Anybody, the first person has a chance to win a $25 gift certificate here at La Pachangas.
Yeah.
It's because we have nobody who's wanted to jump up.
So you're telling me the odds are in their favor, right?
The odds are forever.
They're going to wait till the last second and jump up here at the last minute.
Like, it's me. Right? There we go. Get those questions in, and hopefully we get a few more people piling in. I know there's supposed to be some more showing up. Yeah, Dusty. Where's Dusty Weiskopf? I thought he'd be traveling down here.
He told me earlier today that he possibly was coming, so I'm hoping that maybe he's just a few traffic all the way out from St. Charles. Maybe he'll show up here shortly.
That's an easy drive.
You'd think so.
You would think. Yeah. So let's just start on you because it's just really easy to pick on you with your big blue shirt.
I love it. Bring it.
But who would you have to say is the rivalry game for Kentucky that you get up for more than any other team that they play?
Well, I would say as any other team that they play, probably in the past, I'd probably say Louisville. Louisville's a big-time game. It's always right after Christmas. It's usually the Saturday after Christmas, typically.
You got that down to an art.
Well,
awesome. I know their schedule.
Don't worry, I do. So I think that's one of the bigger rivalry games.
I got a couple Louisville shirts just for that game.
Oh, bring it. We'll come watch it at your house.
Yep.
Down on the big screen downstairs. Take care of that. I won't bring you to my house because you don't want to be in all that blue lettering going everywhere. So
you won't be allowed in if you're wearing all that blue.
The tension is
like
so
him
thick
when the Patriots play.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a fun night.
It was a lot of fun.
That was a fun night for one guy.
You know how much fun listen, all you guys are having fun for 3 quarters.
We were.
And it was a lot of fun. Just like, how do you think about that? What do you think about that? I'm like, they're getting their butts kicked. And then it just happened. I'm over here going, well, that's great. I'll see you guys. How do you like that one? And the rest is history.
It's not like I'm an Atlanta fan, so it wasn't like I was heartbroken. Anyone but the Patriots.
And they signed Cam Newton today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know, right? Yeah. So anyway, back to what counts in life.
But I also think that the other timing games that there are anytime that the State Farm Classic that they do early in the year, is either Kansas, Duke, or Michigan State. That's usually the first game of the year, typically.
Well, they do that Tournament of Champions or whatever.
State Farm Tournament Champions, and it's either in Indy, Chicago, or New York.
I thought that was called the biggest cheater classic.
Well, maybe it is. But,
there we go.
Maybe it is.
I know Michigan State ain't going to win that one.
No, definitely not. But it's a pretty cool experience. I was able to go see a couple of those games, one in Chicago, and then a couple of years ago we went to Indy. But anytime that those 4 schools get together in the same building, it's electric when it comes to those 4 schools and their fans. They're probably one of the 4 schools that have the biggest following amongst fans across the country. And this experience alone, being able to witness those 4 teams play in a gymnasium was just amazing. It was just amazing to watch. But as far as, like you said, the big time, I think it definitely is Louisville. That Saturday after Christmas, and it's just a neat experience to be able to see that. That state gets up for that game. That's a rivalry state game, and it's just like any time else. It would be the same concept if it was Kansas and Mizzou got together. It's the same concept, really.
And that used to be a really good game when Pitino was still there in Louisville. And, I enjoyed watching it because there were some real knockdown, drag-out games.
Yep.
And what was I thought would be really cool is how it progressed. But then when Kentucky loses all their kids after 1 year because they go to NBA, and then they bomb out there. But then they go to the NBA. And
I love it.
Can you name some of those?
Are they taking a pay cut?
Let's see.
question
Michael
is,
Kidd-Gilchrist.
They're probably
Are they taking a pay cut?
taking a pay cut. There you go.
Yeah, McVay with the haymaker here. You're just getting it all sides, aren't you?
But here, talk about the. Do you think they ought to get rid of the one and done rule?
I do. And as a big Kentucky fan, I think that the one and done only hurts.
How is Calipari going to handle that?
I think it hurts high school sports for two reasons. One, I think that kids always think about you want to go play at the college level, and anymore a good athlete doesn't want a top-notch Division I solid top 25 pick. Doesn't want to play as a college athlete. They want to automatically think about the NBA.
Well, a lot of that is because they don't make any money in college.
No.
It's
Right.
one thing to I have a chance to go to the NBA and play, and even if I'm terrible, I'm still going to have a chance to play and make league minimum or signing bonus, whatever they get. Or I go to college and I'm eating ramen noodles out of a package because that's all I can afford unless I'm going to other schools and there's money under the table. But I'm not saying it all are like that.
I don't think it's that bad, especially at those blue blood
I was going to say, it's not even that bad at Mizzou because I toured their facility and they had their cafeteria was pretty nice.
Yeah.
They're on the meal plans.
Yeah.
But I also, you think about it, though, as a college athlete, if you're one of the top 25 athletes of college basketball, I mean, honestly, what are you thinking for? You're looking forward to that next opportunity to be able to become an NBA player. So I think that it changes the culture around high school athletics. I think that changes kids and how they perspective of putting into high school basketball. Because if a lot of those true one-and-done guys really don't focus too much on their high school basketball. They're looking at, I'm focusing on getting that number one draft pick and have an opportunity to go play in the NBA. So I think that would change high school sports a lot if they took it to where you had to stay at least 2 full years before you could go into the NBA. I think that changes a lot of stuff.
What do you think, Zach?
Well, you go back and just look at Duke there. You had Kyrie that got hurt. You had Tatum that got hurt. And you had Zion that got hurt. And everybody knows they're going to be one and done. And so you're a fan, and you're still going to go to the ball games, but you're like, I'm only going to – now I don't get a chance to see this guy. You don't get to play in probably arguably the greatest rivalry, Duke UNC. But
what?
I don't know.
I mean, what? Baseball, they don't have to do it.
Right.
And why are we holding back someone like Zion didn't need to play college basketball?
Right. He didn't.
He could have went straight to the NBA. I mean, I'm trying to be the devil's advocate here, but
that's good. We need that.
Yeah, of course, and I'm good
I
at doing
thought that was my job. Gosh, dang it.
We do have a free market, free market economy over here.
All right, social studies guys.
That's what I'm saying. That's the free market economy, and we're going to tell so-and-so, well, you have to go to college for 2 years?
I understand football just because there's a difference from an 18-year-old versus a 22-year-old.
But the way that basketball has changed so much because of AAU and the traveling circuits, now they are not mature enough at walking out of college. Even one of the greatest basketball players of all time who did not go to college, Kobe Bryant, did not set the NBA on fire his first year.
Right.
There is a learning curve. You play more games. There's the travel, the grind, what it does to your body. That they have to
the social part of
being an adult and you're 18 years old and you're out on your own and I got to find an apartment.
Let's say you have your 18-year-old job, which was whatever, working at a grocery store, making minimum wage, or now all of a sudden here you go, here's thousands of millions of dollars. Here, go run, do whatever. So I think that there's that learning curve, and the social part is a good point. I kind of agree maybe with what you were along the lines of what you were saying. I don't have a problem with them leaving and going pro. I think there's all kinds of things you can do differently to make it work. Either someone drafts the rights to you and sends you to developmental leagues and things like that. I think the NBA would be much better if they would tap that market a little bit better, and have more rounds of drafting kids instead of letting kids go play overseas, I think we can keep our talent at home and even develop people and keep them here by making the G League or D League or whatever it's called nowadays and making that a bigger thing. But if they don't, let's just say if I'm going to go to college, I think they should stay a couple years. Why not? And give that college team the opportunity to have that player play for them. I mean, really, I know it's different, but it's kind of a little bit of both because otherwise you're killing college basketball by losing the best talent altogether.
And I also think that, and I like the idea of giving an athlete an opportunity to, okay, if you're not one of the top 25 high school athletes and you're not going to be being able to be drafted in the top 25, and you go to college, you must stay 2 years. You can get drafted right out of high school, but if you're not one of the top 25 that gets drafted as a high school senior, then you don't have must finish 2 full years of college before you can go back into the NBA and have an opportunity to play in the NBA. I think if they did it that way, I think it opens up more of those, those team players that are there for the right reasons. Sometimes, and we hear about all this a lot of times where, Coach Cal will always say this. A lot of his
okay, go ahead.
A lot of his players that are one and dones will say they were doing this to help their family. That they don't have anything. I mean, they're making a name for their family to be able to provide for their family or mom and dad or whatever. So that's the reason why a lot of those kids go to that NBA is to help provide for their family. Right. So I think we talked a little bit about the college basketball and I think Dave even put on here at that point, should high school going into college athletes have to sign a contract? Do you give them a 2-year contract and they can't get out of that 2-year contract, or do you sign them a 1-year contract, or depending on a lot of things? I mean, is there stipulations per athlete? I mean, you can make that contract however you want.
And they are scholarships are 1-year contracts basically. But to kind of go back to your point though, if you let the top talent, if you just say, hey, you go, because we're not talking about 100 people, we're not talking about 50 people. You're probably talking about 20 or less.
Yeah, agreed.
But what happens is if you let them go, then I think you get a better quality of college basketball because you're going to get that kid for 4 years.
Yes.
And you get to see that freshman come in, probably come off the bench, but then by the time he's a senior, you've really developed that rapport, that relationship, and you know that guy, and you're like, hey, I can really, really root for that guy and for that class maybe that came in.
And that's what Michigan State does. I mean, if you look at Michigan State, I mean, they have a lot of 4-year athletes that may be a decent athlete as a freshman, but they really start to develop and come into their realm right there as sophomores and juniors, and all of a sudden those teams are so solid because they've been around each other 3 or 4 years. They played together. They filled out that mentality.
And it goes into what we were talking about during break about mid-majors. I mean, you get those Butlers, you get the Wichita States.
Yep.
We could sit here and argue about Gonzaga since it's not a blue blood and it's not in a major conference. But you could even talk about them, how you get those junior seniors playing against the Kentucky freshmen or the Duke freshmen, and who winds up winning those ball games most of the time, or at least the Elite Eights, the Final Fours, and championships.
I mean, it is a huge topic. I think always at draft time. I think that's when they allowed last year where was it last year or the year before last where they you don't have to hire an agent, and then if you don't get a certain point, you can come back.
You can come back, yeah.
And so I think that maybe has helped a little bit, but I also think that. If they just stipulate it where you talked about maybe the top 20 has an opportunity, to be drafted out of high school, and right off the bat, you eliminate those.
But who designates that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's
a lot of. Listen, you're 21.
Well,
you're out.
So I'm I'm graduating high school. I'm 18 years old, and I'm really good at heating and cooling. You telling me I can't go do heating and cooling because?
Well, I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. You make an opportunity for them. You give them an opportunity. Hey,
if they want to go to the draft, I mean, that's on them. I mean, these people that hire an agent, I mean,
I mean, if the agent's going to give them money and float them money, and they don't get drafted. Let's just say,
Right.
okay, and that shouldn't forfeit their amateur status. Somebody was dumb enough to give them money. Let's just that's their business decision.
them.
I think those kids should get to come back to college.
What's no different if they're saying, hey, I'm going to go work at Six Flags. They're working. They're making money.
Sure. But it's all about with the NCAA, that evil institution, talks about amateur status because you're making money, and it's to me it's a complete double standard. And I could always jump back on the whole Kansas death penalty thing. I'll just leave it alone. But you're talking about mid majors. Let's go ahead and just change gears again. I personally would like to have, and as I watch college basketball, love seeing mid-majors do well in the tournament.
Agreed.
I really enjoy it. I would love to see them beat.
Oh, they're great. It's great.
Beat Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky. If they beat Mizzou, I'm okay with that because I like the fact that you have kids who are 3 and 4 year, been there, done that. They're men playing against kids out of high school. These one and done guys, in which they're only there, and I know why they're there, but they're what my dad would used to call a rented goalie. We're just going to bring this guy in, and then, okay, that's it, see ya. What investment does this kid have to the program? And in all honesty, what is Coach K and Duke getting out of Zion Williamson here as we go along?
Tickets.
They got tickets.
Right now, they might get some stuff taken away at the end. Maybe. But they're blue blood. Never mind.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
They'll do like Kansas, smacking it.
Are you going to do it again? Maybe. Okay,
Most
that's
likely.
good enough.
Right.
Most likely. You're good. Go on back. You do you.
Yeah.
So I would rather have those guys as a coach for sure. And you're always it's like you reinvest in your program, so your kids are always, they know the system. They're all system guys.
Right.
And when you're watching these teams play from a coach's standpoint, the basketball is so much purer watching them play. The motions are good, the screening's good, ball movement's great. And you're like, man, but they play together, and there's chemistry there. And they might be undersized, they might be under-talented, but they do well against these schools.
Mike Ginge brings up a great point. It's because mid-majors develop their kids.
That's absolutely right.
And, I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I'm a coach, I want those kids that are going to stay. But if I have Zion Williamson
okay,
now
listen,
come to my school, I mean,
name another really good besides you can probably name 5 really good ones and go underneath that. You're the one and done guys who've left. Like, let's just say some of the Kentucky guys who've left.
Right.
What's the guy's name who got drafted by the Lakers and then got hurt? Left-handed guy. I watched him play when they played Wichita State. Anyway, he was one of those guys who left after his freshman year. He got drafted maybe in the top 10. He hasn't done anything.
Right.
He's been terrible. And what good is he? I mean, yeah, Zion, I could see why, I want to recruit him. But to get these guys that are going to turn around and leave that are not at that level, and that impactful where they're game changing.
Well, then I'm probably not going to ruin it.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, think about, we go to these coaching clinics every fall and all the different college coaches that they bring in, and they talk about, we don't get the prime time players, but we go out and you talk about a system, we're going to get a specific type of player that has a specific type of skill set, that whether it's we need somebody that's defensive minded or we need somebody that's going to be that point guard, somebody that's going to be that 3-point shooter, whatever, they have to go out and they have to find those diamonds in the rough that says, hey, this is going to be a system player for me for 3-4 years.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
Well, I think that the concept behind that is I think that a lot of the mid-major programs, I mean, let's be honest, if I'm a mid-major program, I know I'm typically not going to get those top 25 guys. So I'm going to find a core group of kids that I think develop into my system, into whatever I'm trying to accomplish. If I'm running the flex offense, and I've got some guys that can shoot it.
What are you looking at me for? I don't run the flex.
But, I mean, you got to think about all those.
I was waiting for Grinnell, but go ahead.
But I think that as a coach in a mid-major, I mean, you're looking at some guys that are going to develop into players that are going to help you down 2 or 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
Where these blue blood programs, they're looking for guys that are going to help them right now, right in here, and then give the opportunity. Where the core group of mid-majors are typically looking at when they're juniors and seniors. Those guys have been there together. They've learned each other. They've learned the system. They learned the program. They've learned the coach. And all of a sudden, now you see the success. And I think that plays a lot down to high school sports too. I mean, you think about it. A lot of these quality programs have guys that have been in their program for, as freshmen, and started developing and learning the program, learning the whatever they're trying to accomplish, and by the time they're seniors, they're quality. They're quality teams that have done some great
at the high school level. It's starting way before they're freshmen.
Oh yes,
I mean, it's starting when you're in 4th, 5th grade. If you're,
which you guys can explain it to me, being on coaching on the boys' side, but explain to me how they're
Probably not well,
3rd grade, 4th grade. How's the prediction of a 3rd, 4th grader by the time they graduate high school? Look at. Go ahead.
Oh, that's.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard this kid's going to be all state.
Okay.
And he's dribbling with his head down. Can't use his left hand. So I mean, it just depends on who's.
Is
who's
it the
doing.
same thing as football? Where they go to these prospect camps, and that's how they get their stars, or how they get rated. I mean, 6'8", 6'10". You got one kid that's 6'10", has a 30-inch vertical, but this guy's got a 32. Does he get a half more of a star or what?
I think colleges from the boys' side, I know they send out a lot of stuff all the time. They're watching. They've watched live. So I have a couple kids who've been recruited using live stream, and there you go, Ray. There's your plug. But they're looking at that. But they're also looking at any time that you have your rosters out there, and if you list your kids that are tall, like 6'10" kids, they're getting calls. They might not be able to walk and chew gum, but by God, they're 6'10",
right?
And there's an outside chance this kid can play. And you just never. It's a crapshoot. It's insane. They'll look at their sizes. They'll look at their height and weight, and then they're going, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting letters, and can you pass this along to so and so? Here, I'm contacting about this kid." And in the past, and I don't want to ever say a kid's name, I've had some kids who I'm thinking, why am I getting stuff for them, or calls from coaches, from college coaches, and when I start really saying, okay, well, here, I'll send you some film. I never hear from them again.
Right.
But they're all looking at the outside stuff that gets the attention. Those stats or whatever, they get people's attention, their sizes and things like that. So it's insane how they recruit. And, I mean.
Well, you also got to think about, and he's talking about on the girls' side. I mean, there's some girls that are 5'11" as 7th graders and are pure solid basketball players as 7th graders, but never really grow, never really get any better because they're at the top of their game as a 7th grader. Schools are looking at them, and all of a sudden you get into high school and they've never grown a lick and never improved their game. But then the opposite side of that, you may go into 7th grade tryouts and cut a kid that maybe be right now 4'8", but they may turn into, by the time they get in high school, they're a 6-foot girl that's a solid player and could have been a solid player for you, but you cut her as a 7th grader, and all of a sudden now we've lost that complete system of that girl. She's basically done with.
Well, and
I
I see this in boys a lot. You have a 7th and 8th grade kid who's 6 foot tall, and he doesn't ever dribble a basketball. He just stays on the block and gets the pass into him, and then he shoots over everybody because he's bigger than everyone, and he scores. And then he gets to the high school level, and everyone catches up. And now he's got to put the ball on the floor because I can't play him in the post. He's only 5'11". So even though I do play 5'11" post players, as he knows, but he's 5'11", and he needs to handle the ball a little more. And that's something you got to get enriched in your program. And it's a totally different ball game at our level.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're looking at KU and all these people. I mean,
but those schools too, they're out looking for 8th graders. Didn't Kentucky try to pin an 8th grader a few years ago or something?
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, it didn't work out very well.
Oh, did he not grow any? Exactly.
I don't know where he's at now, but he's not at Kentucky. But we were talking about this. I think it was you and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago. We're at a college clinic, and coach was sitting next to you, and and John Calipari's talking about, he's talking about his system and whatever he's, the dribble drive and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I've got this 6'1" guy that can, put it down. And coach turns over and looks at you and goes, do you have any 6'1" guys that can put it down from the free throw line? No. So what good does that do me? So I think that you also got to look at that kind of thing. I mean, that doesn't develop into my kids in play and signed up. So I think that changes a lot of stuff.
I was just down at Cape, and I saw a 5'9" kid do a between the legs windmill and slam it home, and I don't have any kids that can do that. And Dylan's team played Justin Ford, the other Ford. They walk on the court, and there's a guy 6'10". I mean. I don't have any 6'10".
I wonder if any of those kids care about their education.
Oh, I'm sure they.
I mean, I just hope they make good grades. That's all I care about.
They were from Jonesboro, Arkansas.
But maybe the education's good down there.
They could hoop, and it was crazy. That kid that was only like 5'9", but he could jump out of the gym, and I'm like, well, I don't have any of those kids.
No, and I think that changes the concept of it a lot.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
when my kids always watch college basketball, and we'll talk about it after, during practice, after practice, whatever. They're like, do you see so and so play? Almost at this point, when you're looking, especially at the big time teams, big time programs, it's almost to the point where it's like this is where I wish we could go.
Yes.
And the athleticism, and you're like, man, what would I do with that? What could I do with one of those kids who can do that?
Mm-hmm.
And watch. That's what you would do.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, man, this is okay, guys. We're gonna roll the ball out today, and you guys just do that. And
Let's go.
I'm gonna stand over here and pretend like I know what I'm doing, clap and yell and stuff like that. But in mid-majors,
bring anyway, right?
Yelling. There's like yelling and stomping and cursing. So I think,
it's a family show.
I would never do that. Yeah. So on that note, thanks a lot. We're going to go ahead and go to another break. We're going to turn over to Ray before I cuss and
There's
swear.
the music, my friend.
It wasn't on you this time. We have to make sure that when Riley's doing this big long spiel, we just hit the music on.
Ray is
right.
getting better. Ray is getting better.
No, he's getting worse because I haven't got any of those smarts.
He's keeping me on his good side. He needs me on Tuesday night.
Is that what it is?
Okay, give me trouble.
Ray, real quick before we go,
here we go. Go
we
ahead.
need some votes on our comments for what our traveling trophy needs to be. What's the name for this thing? It can be obnoxious. It can be funny. I don't care. We need something really good.
There you go.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Look at him. Look,
He says no.
Somebody asked,
Golly, you like trophies?
Somebody asked, can we drink from that?
Absolutely.
You know what? We can make it to where we can.
The winner tonight will drink a drink from
We
it.
already tried to. Yeah, we'll make it work.
A drink of water.
There you go. Water. There you have it.
There you go.
Well, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. You're watching the Coach's Box.
And I'll say real quick, I really admire what you guys do with this. I think everybody who's ever tuned into one of these, whether it's a Legion game, whether it's a high school baseball game, whether basketball, football, whatever it is, I've heard nothing but tremendous feedback about Livestream STL and what you guys do and the quality of production, things like that. I would really encourage anybody who's involved in athletics throughout the county, really anywhere in the metro area, anybody who's interested in sponsoring activities to get on board and get involved with this. I think it's added a ton to what we do here. It's added a ton to the program. You guys are a class act, and you're committed to doing things the right way, and we really appreciate that.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636 866-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
I wonder what Coach Jarvis is up to.
Jason! What's up? What's up? Man! Oh, hang on a minute. I got a call from Blair. What's up?
What am I doing? I'm sitting here watching the Coach's Box.
This must be a wrong number.
What you guys do for Jefferson County sports, it doesn't go unnoticed by the coaches in all sports.
Yeah, I
all
appreciate
sports.
that.
You know, I have a lot of friends that are head, basketball coaches, and I've been, of course, around Jefferson County all my life and followed all kinds of sports, even before I got into the coaching. So what you guys do to help promote it with the kids is unbelievable, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
For you guys to take your time and what you do is awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah, we try, we work hard, and we think they deserve it. The kids deserve to be able to be seen, and if we can turn out kids in the community to better them, get them in college, and make them a better citizen, that's the key.
Where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? There's the game. Livestream STL, now available on Roku.
We're back here. Thanks so much for watching the Coach's Box. We're going to start our third segment here. And before we do, I want to thank so much Joel over here at the La Pachanga Mexican restaurant here. We appreciate him. He's a great guy here. You get a chance to come on out here. Check out La Pachanga's, located at 1185 Scenic Drive in Herculaneum. You can call 636-475-4888, or you can check them out on the web, lapachangamex.com. Also, our friends over at USA Mortgage, Justin Neal, the branch manager. The home of possibility, that's the USA Mortgage's little saying there. Located at 115 West Gannon Drive in Festus. Give them a call, 314-287-4572 or festus.usa-mortgage.com. Last but not least, we want to mention this also. This Tuesday, pending weather, we'll keep an eye on the weather because there is a chance a little bit of a weather issue. But 5:30 and 7:30 right here at La Pachanga's, you can come into the watch party. We'll have the Roku up running for both of these doubleheaders. Mr. Riley Blair, myself, and Mr. Stuart McMillan will be out at Charleston, and we will be having that live to you here at 5:30 and 7:30 out at La Pachanga here. We'll have that watch party between Festus and Charleston, so check that out on Tuesday. We start our last segment, boys, and is there something that we want to finish up our last part here real quick, and then we'll move on. But what do you want to do there, Chris?
Well, I mean, if anybody out here in Lapas tonight has any questions, start making your way over here.
Yep, we've got a chair right here for you.
We'll kind of line you up and get you in here and ask some questions. You can be on the show, unless you're camera shy. like I am. I don't like being in front of the camera talking.
You're always camera shy.
I am. Well, I mean, when you have a face for radio, that's what happens.
And we got to mention out there, though, if you're in the building and you have a question, you get your name put in the opportunity for a $25 gift certificate to here at La Pachanga, and I will personally hand that to you.
That's right.
As the winner, as Coach Miller said.
That's right. Or if you want to come over here and just make fun of me, like Coach McVay said, you're more than welcome to do that.
Hey,
I'll fight you later in the parking lot. Sorry. Just kidding.
As long as you come over here, get on the air and ask your question or just comment or on something about anything, we don't care at this point. Put your name in there and get an opportunity to win a $25 gift certificate. So if you're in here, come on over.
Your chances right now of winning are pretty high.
That's exactly right. There's nobody in line.
Nobody's in line. Not everybody at once. I would think that Tara Lynn would be like right here.
No, I know. I thought she
was waiting on her. Tara Lynn, are you over there somewhere?
I think she's out in the crowd. She don't want to be on camera. That's probably what it is. She's too shy. But anyway, no, we'll go ahead and give people time to figure this out if they want $25 free to eat here. But as far as, mid-majors are concerned and what we're all what we're watching on TV, I mean, one of these days I think it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. They're going to break through and they're going to win because I think basketball is starting to level out so much throughout the game. And Butler was really pulling for Butler. First year, obviously, it comes short to Duke. The second year, I really hate it because I don't like UConn. But, hopefully that changes. I know one thing I wanted to jump in, and we had kind of mentioned it a little bit, and I don't know if we were going to put it in the show plan, so I'm going a little off-key.
Uh-oh.
And you'd ask why. Do you think we should be changed in men's basketball, in college men's basketball, should we change from 2 halves to 4 quarters?
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
100% agree.
4 quarters.
Absolutely.
I mean, does it not look ridiculous to have 2 halves of basketball?
It's 4 quarters.
Yeah, the women's game did it, and it looks fine. They get their TV timeouts.
Right,
people get paid.
Yes,
but
which is what it's all about.
The athletes when you're at Kentucky, that's what it's all about. Getting paid. Kansas, Kentucky.
It's called KU, not UK. Get it right.
I said Kansas and Kentucky. I used the full. I didn't say.
Turn those U and the K upside down.
Yeah,
we're good.
Either way you look at it, still looks like cheating to me. We can do this all day.
Well, the only school that's got caught is MU. So I mean,
no, we didn't get caught. We turned ourselves in,
but you still got caught. You still got punished
because we actually turned ourselves in.
Like, listen, they did what was right. Like, listen, this is what we did.
Yeah.
It was wrong.
We're
taking your scholarships, and we all know how this worked out. You're just not cash cow, so we're gonna take all this stuff away from you. Either way, but at what point does this change where we have 2 halves and 4 quarters? I think it's insane. When's it going to change?
Well, I don't understand why it hasn't changed. I mean, what's the tradition? What is it?
I don't know. I mean, first off, who knows this? Why do we have 2 halves? Anybody know that one?
No.
Okay, we're all dumb, so trivia's going to go really well.
Trivia's going to be
I have
solid.
no idea.
Well, I mean,
I got good trivia
I kind
questions.
of like halftime because you'll get to make a few adjustments, have a good speech sometimes, a little.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that end of the quarter time too because it really does break that up where you can say,
I agree.
Okay, hey guys. Well, I mean, we're down 15, 20 points.
I like that opportunity to set a play up at the end of the quarter, come right out if it's our ball or whatever, change it up a little bit, makes it something. No, I mean, you don't see that in college basketball typically, unless it's a timeout.
Yeah, after timeout plays,
whatever,
that's pretty common.
I mean, if you think about you playing 4 quarters, I think that kind of makes the game a little bit more meaningful is at side of a quarter. Hey, let's go out and win this quarter. Let's not win this half, which I think is a little bit more difficult when it comes down to it. Is if you're going to have an opportunity to win the quarter or the half, I think that changes a lot of a perspective of a coach in a standpoint is to make that happen.
We need to make Mr. Maddox come
up
here.
If you want to get a chance to win $25,
come up,
John,
and
you got to sit right there and ask that question. Come on, don't be shy.
I mean, it's $25 up to
$25 gift certificate. Come on over here. Sit.
Help
Sit.
Bill
Try
out
it.
for tonight.
Jump on in. Let's jump into this. Do
Okay,
it.
if John doesn't want to do it, I'm sure his lovely wife, Sonia, would love to sit at this seat and ask that question.
Hey, right now it's the first person, and the next person now it's 50% chance. Somebody. Here we go. We got some
There we
movement.
go.
Breaking news.
Here we go.
Breaking news.
We got somebody to come on live here.
Oh man! All right, now listen, you're not going to ask John's question, are you?
Absolutely, I
Oh. I mean, hey, good for you, but come on.
They're going to share it with each other.
He wants $25.
Split dinner.
The girls were thirsty, so.
Well, what question you got for us?
So the question is, they wanted to know who was going to have the most technicals called on them this year.
Out of us four?
Out of us four.
Ooh. I'd say that this guy right here. I think this guy right here is going to get it.
No way.
Nose
I had
goes.
one. I had one and it didn't even count.
I'm going with you. I'm going with you.
What?
Yeah, I'm going with
Really?
you.
Hey, how many did you have this year?
2.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Let me just see.
Riley 0.
See.
We kept track.
How many times have you been kicked out of a game?
0. How many times has any of you guys kicked
Wait,
out?
0. Oh, well, no, you had
Real games.
Well, no, wait now. You said games.
Summer League, yes, I did one.
Summer League.
But I didn't. I stayed. So
Riley had 3 technicals and was ejected from a game in the
Just
summer.
3? I thought like 8.
I was ejected twice.
In the same game.
And in the same game. And then had.
Is that possible?
in the
6
same game?
technicals.
Wait. Bobby Valentine did that too. He got ejected from the game. He came back with like a mask or the mustache and the glasses.
And the glasses.
Yeah.
You can do that with the COVID.
I really felt bad about it. I really felt bad about it after the fact that I realized that this guy that was officiating the game was a 18-year-old senior that had just graduated high school. So I really felt terrible about the situation.
For 2 seconds.
But, the whole point of the reason why I got into the argument with him was because I asked him a question, and he didn't know the answer to the question, so he ignored me, and that made it even worse. If you don't know the answer to the question, just say, hey, I don't know. I'd rather you do that than ignore me and not give me any answer at all. So that just infuriated me a little bit.
Have you seen how much the refs ignore you?
Wait,
Oh, they don't.
Are you kidding me?
Not anymore,
Have
they
you?
don't.
Oh, yes, they do. I've had them tell me how much they ignore you.
Listen, I normally
Not when I
wouldn't
ask
side
a
with
question.
Jason on this, but they've said the same thing.
If you
today.
mic'd him up in the game, you could charge more to get in.
Maybe so.
that could be some
See,
outtakes.
there you go, Ray.
Ray, you are missing out on the gold mine.
You saw that from 60 feet away?
May have said that.
That's
a
pretty
few
classic.
times.
That's pretty classic. Hey, look, even Crump says it's going to be me.
I'll let you guys go with that one.
Come on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate your
thank
question.
I don't see why everybody thinks it's me.
Well, I mean, you like to tell jokes, and sometimes they get misinterpreted.
Okay, listen.
and
I did have a
you
good idea that I was going to. If Charles is watching, if you get a box in the mail, it might or might not have petroleum jelly.
Oh, God.
And it's all in good fun because I love you. But I was just trying to be funny.
We gave him a lot of crap on the show that night when he came on
that's
the
true.
show.
I know it was a lot of fun doing that too.
He took it like a champ, though.
Yeah,
he
he
did
did.
not even back down about it at all.
Okay, so I was having a conversation today. Somebody asked me today at a prior event what games I got technical this year, and I knew that one because that's I can't remember the other one.
It was
Which-
at our
which game
tournament.
was this? Which
it was
game was
against the first round of the Bruce Thomas.
What did I do?
Gosh, what?
I'm sure it
was
This
the
guy
first
over here,
round.
these guys over here were giving me I was at practice, and they were giving me the scoop. They were over at the game because it was right before he got playing. So they were over there, and they were telling me about the story that you got teed up already.
Oh, we played Northwest that first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Was it
got-
Northwest?
Yeah. No. It was then it was second.
McKinley was the one because I
McKinley.
wanted a timeout from.
It was McKinley.
It was McKinley.
Oh, that was
It
a
was
terrible
McKinley.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yes.
I wasn't very happy.
No, you were.
I was not my happy place. And I can get if I go into that mode, man, it's scary. I don't know where it'll go.
But it took them about 10 or 12 minutes for tell you to sit down. That's what I heard.
Well, I mean, because unless they tell me to put the seatbelt on, I ain't gonna put it on. Okay, I mean, listen, this show's a coach's box. But that is the coach's box. I'm gonna use it until someone tells me I can't.
Hey, but you didn't get the stop sign, so
You,
we're good.
yeah, you didn't get. I have before, and then I said, oh, I see your stop sign, and and he was on the baseline on the other end. I didn't say anything mean to
You guys
him.
need to check the comments.
What do we got? What we got, Blair?
Any open coaching positions right now?
Well, Blair probably needs another coach.
I do. I always.
Crump, I'm sure he'll hire you. He's got like 20.
Come on, Dave.
There you go.
Come on, Dave.
Hey,
I'll take you.
Hey, get another gun. Get another one. Be the Herky thing. Get like 7,000 coaches.
I don't want 7,000 coaches.
Oh, sure you do. I'm going to miss a lot, so I always want more and more coaches. That's just part of it.
The more eyes, the better for me.
All right, so does anybody else out there have any more questions? It's not who's going to get technicals.
Anybody else?
Anybody? Well, we got one winner right now.
Got one person in the
Got
pot.
one winner.
Nobody else.
I mean, Crump has asked a lot of
I
questions
know,
on the way, but he's got to be here.
He needs to
you
be
know?
here to win. It's
Had his opportunity.
I'm telling you, that's tough. I'm surprised Tara Lynn hasn't jumped in here and asked something.
I've been waiting. I'm like,
You're trying not to get that whole nepotism to the show, winning prizes.
Right. Yeah.
Are you related to anybody on the show? No.
Well, I would like to use the gift certificate. So come on up
towards tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, you come in here every week, and how much do you say you spend all the time?
It's rough when I'm paying for them too. It's usually $50 to $70. It seems.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice
Emo's
little
becomes
discount.
a wash at that point.
Yeah, right.
Sure does.
Hey, here's a question: did you or did
Maybe
you not drink
you
out
have a
of
question.
a cup tonight from another school?
I did not. Is there any pictures?
Do we need to bring a witness?
Do we have a
Is
cup?
there any proof?
we have the
I
cup?
think there's a cup. It's
There
right
might-
there.
there might be.
We're talking about this one over. I'll get it for you.
Ray's going to be a good guy right here and get the evidence. I know, hey, Tara Lynn didn't see you drink out of this, but let's put this right here for everybody to see in front of Jason. He received this as part of a present today from an anonymous person.
Anonymous donor broke
Yeah.
that to them.
I mean, I couldn't let the soda that was in there.
Yeah,
go.
I mean,
Show us the
look,
show
he
us the
just puts
cup,
it-
though.
puts
You
it
got to
down.
show us the
Bring it
cup.
back. Come
I
on
don't
now.
want to show the cup.
Oh, look at this. Here,
Hold on.
little zoom in here.
I'm surprised it's not a
There it
district
is.
championship cup. Like this commercial, he had the net, he had the basketball.
I don't know what you're. I cannot confirm or deny any of this.
See, I almost wore my district basketball shirt, the one I had to buy, because I was going to wear it tonight and say, yeah, this is the only way I get a district shirt right now.
That's rough. But, for anybody who doesn't see this, it says St. Pius X High School. And, you enjoyed that drink out there.
60 years?
Yeah, 60 years.
60 years.
61 now.
Oh, yeah.
60
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it's been around. Yeah, I appreciate that, though. That's good. Way to represent. I wish somebody would have got a little bit of that photo evidence, though. It'd been great.
No proof.
Well, you know what, Ray, in the meantime, while we're waiting for anybody to come up with a question and to ask
Is it
us,
time to load up the questions for him?
I think we can start
trivia
doing
time.
trivia.
All
Yeah, for our obnoxious trophy. Yeah, really
I
excited
had
about this.
I had Kim English,
We got
Booker,
some-
I had
we can
Kareem
still
Rush,
use-
Anthony
Oh.
Peeler.
We
I
can
had
still
all
use
kinds
some
of
of
guys
that.
to talk about.
We can still use
I'll
some
ask.
of that.
I'll ask
No,
a quick,
I don't
quick
wanna hear about
question.
Kentucky.
Favorite team, favorite college team?
Duke.
Duke. Kentucky, obviously.
Absolutely.
Mizzou.
Mizzou.
Oh, my God.
Mine, for a long time, there were two teams. Obviously, it was Mizzou when I was growing up. I mentioned Steve Stepanovich. Y'all don't even know who he is because I'm that old. But
I thought it was John Sumvold.
John
John
Sudvold,
Sudvold's
Anthony
nice one.
Peeler, all those guys, great. But Michigan
Wolverines.
Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, the Fab
the
Five.
Fab Five.
Well, that was fun times.
And then also lately, Michigan State has been pretty strong. So,
Spartans.
So there you go. That's where I was born. So, but
I
lived
almost
there for
said
3
that.
months and then
Yeah.
came back here. So, all right. So let me set up these.
All right, so
questions.
you're gonna have to go over the rules here for us, Ray.
So the rules are this: I'm going to ask the
rules.
question. There are no
anything
rules.
but the hair.
There are rules. No rules. No.
How many questions do we
There
have?
are 4 questions.
Perfect.
There are.
Put your technology away.
Yeah, put your technology away.
Cheaters.
Turn
There
it down.
are 4 questions.
Listen, Kentucky, put it away.
We're going to ask one question at a time. You're going to give me the answer, or your answer. I'm going to give you the right answer, and then how you just need to write down.
Be an honest person.
Be
and
honest
tell
on your honor.
Who
type
is
deal.
the?
Oh, I win this.
So question number 1. Here we go. Do we need some music for this too?
Let's go. Let's
Here we
go.
Question number 1.
I like this cup over here. I want to drink out of it.
Who is the only head basketball coach to win both an NCAA national championship and an NBA title? Is it Pat Riley?
I wrote it down.
Is it
He's a winner.
Oh, I know this one.
Mike Krzyzewski? Is it? I'm trying to think of another one because it's not right. Anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. Well,
Man, you came up with all of it.
No, the one that I was thinking in my head wasn't right. Is it? I'm trying to think of somebody else. But
well, then you're good.
But I've already gave the correct answer. But
Yes, I know who that is.
I've got another one. Is it Larry Brown? That's a good one too. So
That's 3 questions. We got
three answers. I get A, B, or C.
So say the question again now. I'm confused.
Who is the only head basketball coach to win both an NCAA national championship and an NBA title?
As a coach or just
As a
in general?
coach.
Oh.
Do we have our answers?
What were the 3 choices again?
No lifelines.
Coach K, Pat Riley, Larry Brown.
All right. Mr. McVeigh, we're going to start with you.
I guess A.
Mr. Pat Riley.
Pat Riley? Mr. Pat Riley?
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown?
It's Larry Brown.
The answer is Larry Brown.
Oh, man, see, I'm out.
So
Because for a second, was it as a player?
That's what I'm
and
saying,
that's
as a player,
that's why I had to
Riley.
ask again.
Yeah.
I know. That's what you're.
It's like, man, you throw me off
All right.
with that
It was
one.
Larry Brown. I knew that one.
Coach, yes. And I'm out. I lost that one.
Well, there's only.
Cha-ching!
Wait.
Hey, you might have a
Jarvis
shot here.
Miller
Right.
won.
Yeah.
question number 2.
Girls coaches 0.
Here we go.
Yes. Boys coaches 1.
Who is the all-time leading scorer in men's basketball or college basketball? Men's college basketball.
Oh, boy.
The all-time leading scorer. Is it Michael Jordan? Is it Larry Bird? Is it Pete Maravich? Or is it I'm trying to think of that guy's name real quick. I'll give you
Try to
those
throw us
3.
off.
I'll just give you those 3.
Trying to throw us off.
Julius Erving.
Did you say those 3 again?
No.
JoJo White.
Chris Miller.
Is it
Anthony
Pistol
Peeler.
All right.
Michael K.
Let's go. Let's go on this side. We'll start with Mr. Miller.
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
That's who I got. Pete.
Yeah.
Mr.
Pistol
P.
Pete. All right. Pistol Pete. And you, same?
Yeah.
It is Pistol Pete.
In only
Pete
3
Maravich.
years of
40.
eligibility
I was
with
gonna
no
say 40.
3-point line.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Was it 40 points a game?
40
Nice.
points a game with no 3-point line.
So
Right.
I had green first, but I scribbled that out.
It wouldn't have been correct.
I know.
And Lou Alcindor.
He might be the winner over here. This guy's I'm a loser. I don't know anything.
Don't know nothing.
Well, I never thought Larry Brown was going to be the first question.
Well, that kind of tricked us a little
This
bit.
is the gimme question, and we already actually brought that up. So, 1991, University of Michigan boasted a freshman recruiting class of featured Jimmy King, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Ray Jackson, and Juwan Howard. What was the collective nickname given to the group of players?
Oh, yeah, I just.
If you want to give the answer, it's definitely not the Fantastic Four.
We should not.
We're going to
get
start
this
with
wrong.
Riley.
We'll go the Fab Five.
The Bad Five, okay.
That 5.
Same for everyone?
Fab Five.
Everybody's right.
Oh, this could be it.
Uh-oh.
Could be between you two winners over here.
Last question. This is going to be a good one because this may throw all 4 of you guys. Which of these players scored 50 points in an NCAA tournament game in 1987?
Great one.
Walter Berry, Keith Smart, James Worthy, or David Robinson?
87.
1987. And I'm going to start with Mr. Jarvis, who is 3 for 3 right now.
Do we get those choices again?
James Worthy.
No.
Yeah,
no,
I give all 4 of them.
No. You didn't give me. That's terrible rules.
It's because I have.
See that from 5 feet away.
I could have solved
Okay,
6 feet
I already
away.
have an answer.
So, all right.
I got David Robinson.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna
I put David Robinson.
do something
Okay.
That's what I got, Robinson.
Mr. Worthy.
It is David Robinson.
I just went out on a limb just to hopefully get a
David
loser.
Robinson. And I
had
believe
it
we have a
circled
tie
there.
over here. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
we're 2-2. We're 3-0.
You're
Okay.
4-0.
4-0.
So these guys are
Hold
for.
on.
So how about
I got another question.
How about let us
Let me pull
ask
it
the
up.
question?
All right.
Oh, shoot.
Let me find it real quick.
We
Let
could
me
have a
find
good
the
one.
questions here. And let me find a good one here real quick too. So I have to go to my bag of questions here.
I can ask a good one. I got one on my
This
head
is
right
an
now.
NBA one. That's not an NBA one.
So you don't like your
I need-
question.
don't like me.
well, there's NBA and this is all NBA. Here's a good one. This one's NBA. This and the ABA.
Oh, it's me and Miller.
Okay,
I
so
know.
here it is. Just this question right here. Here it is.
I got to beat him with
And,
something.
and I'm not
this
going to give
year.
you. I'm not going to give you.
I should throw
choices.
it just so that way you have to
No
take it.
choices on this one.
I'm not going to give you choices on this one.
All right.
Who was the only player voted most valuable player in both the ABA and the NBA?
Oh. Oh.
You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right.
What is your answer, Mr. Miller?
Dr. J.
Julius Erving.
That is correct.
That's
Let me see if I can get another one.
I knew that one. That was the easiest.
Yeah, sports questions about the only ones I
Right.
answer at trivia night. So maybe some history questions.
Maybe. What do you teach again?
History.
Unfortunately, all these are NBA questions.
Hey,
Do you have
I
a?
think
Do
you
you,
should let me ask
College
it.
basketball and
do
all.
you have a
over
college
NBA.
basketball
Oh,
question?
here
Go
we
ahead.
go.
Here we go. Give it to Riley here.
This is gonna be crap.
Who won the last NCAA championship? What team won the last
Men's
NCAA
NCAA basketball.
NCAA championship?
Not last year, but the last one.
The last NCAA championship.
Got it.
Oh boy.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Hold on, let me write something down
in
there.
5, 4,
Right there. Think of
3,
something.
I don't know.
2, 1, and
I'm
answers
wrong.
in.
Answer in. What do you got?
Go ahead. I don't have anything. I don't
Virginia.
know. I didn't know who it was.
That is correct. Virginia won
There
the
it is.
2019 NCAA championship.
Yeah, it would have to be Blair of all people.
That's a pretty
Legit
decent
question.
question.
I mean, I thought.
We had all NBA questions, and then the last one we're gonna.
No, that one was one in college and in NBA.
You know the amount of competition that's around here.
We don't
so
like
You want to
losing.
touch it?
We don't like
It's so
losing.
thick.
No, I don't want to touch it. But he's
that in the
from
way?
Herky. He thinks he would ask a question he knows I can answer.
I just
and
wanna
that
make
you
sure
can't.
you
But
know-
no, I see where
Right
he's
here?
trending maybe someday.
Oh, stop it.
Might be trading in that black and red.
Oh,
someday.
here we go.
There we go.
Heard it here first.
Oh my. Here
Not,
we go.
hey, not when
That's good.
Calipari comes to call and wants him on his staff.
Hey, that's true. It's true.
Do you ever have that dream and then wake up like, oh, man?
I've been on a college staff as an undergrad coach, and it was the best experience of my life.
Really?
Best experience of my life.
Yeah, that's good.
SIU Carbondale. Yeah, it's a good
And
experience.
he didn't even root for them. He's
know.
from Illinois, and he roots for
I
Kentucky.
did root for them.
He
I
even
did
worked
root for
there.
them.
Even worked there as a graduate assistant,
We
and
went-
still.
It's because the
Kentucky.
colors are maroon.
We went to the Elite Eight that year and lost to Kansas for the opportunity to go to the Final Four. One of the neatest experiences of my life.
You fill a lot of water bottles? Or
I
what?
did. I did. That was one of the best jobs of my life.
Quality. He's too old.
You're drinking the wrong water. All right, so real quick, do we have anybody else with any other questions? Otherwise,
Last questions. Otherwise, we just got to give it away.
anybody out there, anybody.
Can we
And
get,
those on the Facebook
It could
waves
be
and the
anything.
YouTube waves, real
Can-
quick.
can we
Hey,
get Joel in the house to
Joel?
maybe come bring him on and let
Yeah.
him talk? Can you
Where's
find
Joel?
Joel somewhere?
Yeah.
See if he'll come over
While,
here.
while we're doing that, if you're, we're going to do this again because we really want to start making this more of an interactive thing.
Right. Absolutely.
And this was guinea pig number 1. Guinea pig number 2 is Tuesday night. We'll throw this up here real quick. Tuesday night we will be, I guess you and I
Yes.
and others will be over at down in Charleston doing the Jeffco Diamondcast baseball game between Festus and Charleston. Actually, the doubleheader at 5:30 and 7:30. We're having a watch party here, so if you're interested and you can't come out to go all the way out to Charleston, which is 2 hours away, we're going to bring it to you, but you got to come into La Pachenga's, and you get 15% off of your meal by mentioning Livestream STL. So make sure you come in Tuesday. If not, come out and check out if you're interested in checking out the Roku channel also. You can log on to videos.tkdssports.com. It'll also be on the Roku channel. So check that out. And we're going to have Joel come in, pop in there, Joel, and we'll actually get you. Let me see if I can get my camera set up right here. But
Yep. He's a busy man.
He's busy. She's going to yell at you.
We're just gonna give you some props.
Yeah, man, come
Give
on
you
in.
some props.
Pop the headset on real quick for a second. There you go.
Well, first of all, we want to say from a part of the coaching box here, coach's box. So we want to say thanks for giving us an opportunity to do our show here. What a great experience. You've allowed us to come in here on a night and just kind of open your house up and give us an opportunity to do this show here. So we want to say, first of all, thanks for that. And, hopefully that we can generate this show to a bigger thing where we can get some more people in here. And, tonight we tried to authorize it a little bit different with giving the 15% off and trying to get you some business in here because this guy supports local sports across the county. I've seen it across the county. He's supported the Herculean Black Cats. He supported Festus. He supported Crystal City. He supported, all the schools around locally. So I know that this guy means a lot for the community and has been here a lot. So we just want to say thanks and appreciate the opportunity to do this. Is there anything you want to put out there as far as your business to kind of build a little bit PR maybe that you want to say or anything?
Well, first I want to say thank you to you guys to choosing us. For a Mexican restaurant support you guys. We try to do the best we can. So we are on business since 1997, and we try to do the best we can for the community and for the customers. So what we try to do is just bring some more people in here, but we try to help in the schools to growing, and anything we can do for the schools or for anybody else, we just here, we just want to say thank you to you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we can do anything for our community.
Yes. And I think that's some of the things that stands you above everybody else is the service that you get here. If something goes wrong, you make it right. And to me, as a business, I appreciate that coming in here. And I know these guys appreciate the opportunity for us to be able to do this, more importantly. But I always notice that one thing you do is you make it right, regardless of the situation. So we appreciate that, and we thank for the opportunity. Ray, you got anything that you want to add?
Yeah, just thanks so much again. We've kind of gotten a real cool relationship here together, and it's been really neat to just get to know you a little bit and come in. They let us come in whenever we want to. We come in for the
Anytime.
coach's box. We come in for Main Street Sports and anything like that. So do us a favor and come on in and support these guys because the COVID's pretty much kind of on that pause from the COVID now, and businesses are opening up. Some are jumping, picking up all their business from where they left off. Some are not, and so this is a chance to get a chance to give back and get yourself involved with the local businesses around here, especially in Herculaneum. So but we appreciate you Joel having us out here, and we're going to work on different things. We've got the watch party coming up Tuesday night. You're going to have the Roku channel. See, Joel's the only person that has the Roku channel in Jefferson County right now, and so we're touting this whole thing a little bit. But at the same time, come in and be just grateful that you're able to come out and check out local baseball right now we've got going on. We'll have football in the fall, football, volleyball, girls softball, things like that. And so we're looking for more businesses to jump on board with that too. But we wanted to start here because we just really felt like this was a great place to kind of put to good ground, in a way. So appreciate you, Joel.
Yes.
And thanks for stopping in. We finally get you on. We finally get you on the show here. That's
Thank
cool,
you, thank
right?
you. No, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I want to say thank you to all the customers. You know what you say about the COVID and everything affected all the local business.
Right.
But we have a lot of support from our customers, for regular customers. So I want to say thank you to them. Then even I know it's kind of hard right now, a hard time for everybody, but they always here with us. So I want to say thank you to all my customers.
I got one
guys.
question though.
Sure.
Be honest now. How often is he here? Is he here all the time?
Yeah, he has a bed in here. So actually, he lives here.
That's awesome.
He's like a family for us. All of you guys, like a family.
Especially you too.
Brothers Pizza, man.
It's good stuff.
If you don't know what to order that.
That's right.
I always ask for the Riley Blair special, so everybody seems to know what that is.
Yeah, we're working on a new menu, and it's gonna be his name.
Oh, please do it! Please do it. That'd be the best. That would be the best.
Needs to be a
Riley
food challenge.
Blair special.
The Riley Blair
It's the no
food
guacamole.
challenge.
No guacamole.
There it is. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up here. We appreciate everybody watching the
thank you
Coach's
very
Box. And
Thank you,
thank you
Joel.
so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Joel. Thank you, guys. And we are going to wrap it up here. And we thank you so much again for watching the Coach's Box. Again, don't forget, Tuesday night, we will be out at Charleston. Get that watch party up there one last time, 5:30 and 7:30. Come watch it here at La Pachangas. Festus and Charleston battling it out, and we'll be live, Riley, myself, and Stuart McMillan at 5:30 and 7:30. But come out here if you don't want to make that trip out to Charleston, and you can watch it on the Roku channel. For all of us here at Livestream STL and the Coach's Box, we're going to say so long. Have a great night.